I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pardon?
Oh, I thought it was, as mine says,
We're early.
we're early.
A little bit.
We're early.
Are we on? Okay, that's what I thought.
All right. We can start though, right? All right. I like that. The Board of Commissioners moves to approve the July 14th regular meeting minutes.
Second?
Roll call.
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Judge Doherty, pleasure to come and see
Welcome.
us and welcome. Come on up.
Welcome.
You get the,
Where do you want me?
whichever seat you
Anywhere
like.
you want to
man.
be.
Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I certainly won't take up much of your time. I want to apologize for the last, most of you know, for the last, 7 months or so. I've been dealing with my mother and her illness and then her ultimate passing in June. So I've been going to work every day, but I have not, I guess, been as cognizant about what else is going on in terms of
Yes.
our office and budgeting and that kind of thing. So my only purpose today is I know that Judge Pittman had come to see you a few months ago. I was not available because of things going on with my mother. So I wanted to make sure that you kind of knew where I stood in terms of we have shared employees. Obviously, we also each have employees that that just work specifically for each of us. Because there are only 2 of us in this division, we do share employees, obviously. And I wanted to, first of all, answer any questions that you all would have in regards to our staffing, but also to let you know that I am kind of back in the swing of things now. I'm hoping to participate, obviously, like I used to. It's just been a very difficult 7 months. So I know that she did come to see you. I wasn't privy to a lot of that just because I was always at the nursing home or hospital. So we do have a number of employees that we share. She did hire, I think after coming and speaking to you all, she did hire 2 journal clerks. It was, I guess, intention to be 1 for each of us. I really didn't think I needed an entire person just to do my journal entries, even though Darlene was retiring. But be that as it may, she hired 2 people and that seems to be working out. I still have one of the court reporters handling my journal entries for the most part. But I do think in certainly the near future, our staff, and I'm talking about our collective staff, all of the staff for the common police on the 3rd floor, we need to seriously consider their raises. During COVID, especially, we never shut down. The courthouse was open. Most other offices were able to cut back some. We were not, just by virtue of our what we do. We have cases that need to be dealt with, and not just criminal cases, but civil cases. So we couldn't just put everything on hold. And our staff worked all through that, never hesitated. We're always there. So there's a lot to be said for that, but also, and I think Judge Pittman discussed this with you as well, our docket is insane. There's not even an appropriate word to use for the number of cases that Judge Pittman and I both have compared to every other judge in the state.
We've seen the numbers, yeah.
Oh, it's outrageous. But that being said, that means that our staff is handling those cases as well. And, I guess it's hard for me to say, and I know there's been discussion about the wage study and everything, but quite frankly, what our folks do and the types of, I've worked in other counties and other judicial systems, obviously, and they are not quite set up like our system is. So as far as the employees that we each have per court and that kind of thing, and the employees that we share. So it's very hard to say that a wage study would reflect
Right.
what our employees do versus every other, common police staff
And
office.
Judge Pittman made that clear.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's very, very different. And some, in some ways, it's a good thing. In some ways, maybe not so good. I mean, I've been in other counties. I've worked in some. I've worked in Mahoning. I know the staffing that those judges and those courts have. But they all have a different spin on what they think is the most necessary jobs for those folks to do. I have had almost everybody. I think I have almost all of them. I know that our job descriptions have not been updated in years, probably. I mean, I think the last was in early 2000 or something for all of our employees, the court reporters, the bailiffs, the assignment commissioners, that kind of thing. So I have been compiling that. So that's going to help me at least, when it comes time to determine what increases that should be put in place, that's going to help. Because not only are they all cross-trained, but quite frankly, they all have different functions and more functions than their maybe similarly situated employees in other counties. So that's really my kind of whole purpose, is to let you know that I am compiling that. I am back in the world again.
We appreciate that.
Trying to be. I was, like I said, I was always at work, but it was just obviously very distracting. And I feel like in this context and in this arena, I was AWOL-ish. So I'm trying to not be AWOL-ish.
So all the things you just said, I've written down a series of questions.
Okay.
How many employees do you share, and how many employees do you have separately with the other judge?
On my own, I have an assignment commissioner, a court reporter, a bailiff. They are my direct employees who are in my office. The folks that we share, Judge Pittman and I, and she also has then an assignment commissioner, bailiff, and a court reporter. We share a mediator, Benny Antonelli. We share the secretary for that mediator, and we share the jury commissioner, Tammy Kaiser, who now also has absorbed all of the responsibilities that Darlene Pepper had. She was our joint judicial assistant for years and years and years. Darlene Pepper worked for both Judge Pittman and I. She not only handled all of our journal entries, she journalized everything that we did in court, but she also handled all of the budgeting, all of the purchasing, all of the human resources from our end. Darlene shouldn't have had all of the responsibilities that she had, but she was so adept at handling it over the years. She'd done it for so long that it was also prior to me even being elected, she was already doing all of those things. So it was a very task position that she had. And we share Tony DiNardo, who is our court reporter, who generally handles court reporting for the magistrates, for Diana Prent and Chad Hawks. And so we have we each have 3 employees, and then we share Ann, Tammy, Benny, and Jim Walsh, who is our IT director. He also works in large part for juvenile court, probate court, domestic relations if they need it. So those are the employees that we share.
So you had said, and Judge Pittman has also said the same thing you did.
Mhm.
So you've worked in at least 2 other counties, and you said everything that we do is very, very different than the way they do it.
Mm-hmm.
So do other counties have job descriptions for those people that work for y'all? And if not, and if they do, because everybody's supposed to be cross-trained. I think everybody up here is cross-trained, but it sounds like they bounce back and forth a tad bit more than ours do on a regular basis. So you answered my other question about the wage study. I think Vic Vellucci has kind of come on board with those thought processes too. Maybe not totally.
So there's a wage study and then there's job factoring. and you can do them separately or we can do them combined.
Mhm.
So if you were to have we need updated job descriptions, right?
Yeah,
So and yes, the prosecutor, I guess the quick answer is.
Primary, secondary jobs that they do. And that's is because, and I had this discussion with Judge Pittman as well. It's just, you got to give us something to work on.
Mhm.
Because we've been trying to fix some of the things that have been improper about the wage studies.
Mhm.
So those are the things that, I get that everybody is very tasking. And then the last part of it is that, it's the different descriptions of how big a docket you guys both have.
Mhm.
I think that's like 750 or something like
Oh,
that.
no, we each have over 900.
900 now,
Yeah,
so,
so,
yeah, and it's supposed to be 265 or some.
Most judges have 300 to 400 at the max.
You've got more
We
than
each have 900.
900. So I mean, there's always different opinions from
Mhm.
other places. Is do we add another judge, or that do you both need, instead of having 2 people or 3 people that you do each one of you have to have 4 people plus the sheriff people?
Mhm.
What's the solution? Because I know we don't have it.
Well, one of the barriers to adding additional people is space. Where are we going to put those people? My office area and Judge Pittman's office area are very similar in terms of office space and just space to even like literally stick by. So as a matter of fact, right now, we're in a situation where we probably have to have Jim Walsh, our IT guy, take an office at probation because Judge Smith needs the space in probate court that he's utilizing. So obviously, space is a massive issue, even if we were to say we need additional employees. As far as the number of cases that we have, I don't personally, yes, we have a lot of cases. I can manage it. I was a prosecutor forever.
There's a but part of that too.
There's a but part of that. I can handle it, but it is overwhelming to have that many cases influx every year, obviously, for Judge Pittman and for myself. And I think we need a 3rd judge?
Yeah.
Possibly.
The space again, right?
The space, right. I think that we can handle those cases. My real question is, should we have that many? I don't know that, but I think if there were some better weeding out of the felony cases on the prosecutor's end, maybe we wouldn't be so overwhelmed with cases. But that's not my function. That is the prosecutor's function. I take the cases that they give me. So we could probably use a 3rd judge, but the reality is, where are we going to put a 3rd judge? And I think just from a spatially, cognizant way, we can't. That being said, I don't also think that maybe we need more employees each. My staff is so well tuned in terms of handling the volume that we have. I don't physically know where I could put someone, but I also don't know that they necessarily need another person. They all work so well together, and our combined staffs work well together. But their responsibilities increase with the influx of cases. So whether it's civil or criminal, we have a staff that really is just stretched to the limits, but they also are handling it well, but they also should be compensated for the amount of work that they do. When I talk about us having a different, like staff type of situation as other counties, like for example, Summit County, each of those judges, now there are 10 judges, 10 common pleas judges, but they each have not only a judicial attorney, like a magistrate, they call them judicial attorneys, we call them magistrates, but they each have a magistrate, they each obviously have a bailiff, but they also each have a judicial assistant. They have their system set up a little bit differently than ours. And again, I would imagine years ago when the judges, either being Judge Enlow and the judges who were prior to me, came up with the employees that they need, their dockets weren't as crazy as ours are. They didn't have as many cases. They could probably manage a lot better with less employees. But again, they didn't have anywhere to put them either. Our building has not changed in so many years that
Yeah.
we're stuck. And that's a problem too. So I don't think personally in my world, my immediate world, that we need more employees.
Mhm.
I think that, Dina's incredible. My bailiff does a great job. My court reporter is great. It's just a matter of making sure that for the work they do, they are appropriately compensated. So I know that when I was in Summit years ago as a prosecutor, it took us, I think, 10 years to get 2 more judges. At that point, when I first started, we only had 8 judges. By the time I left and went to Mahoning County, we had 10, but it took years and years to coordinate all of that. That is not an easy feat to have the Supreme Court agree, to have the county agree. I mean, obviously, it's a major process. Can it be done? Absolutely. But you have to have the other answers down the road. Where are you going to put them?
Now, back to your concern about the number of cases. I don't know what the I don't understand that, but have you and Judge Pittman maybe met with the prosecutor and discussed this? I mean, as to what,
Yeah,
just a discussion?
Yeah, probably not together. We have talked about it independently. And I have prosecutors in my courtroom every day. I mean, we talked to Vic, I've talked to my prosecutors.
Mhm.
It's something that probably is not avoidable. We do have obviously a lot of law enforcement agencies in our county. It's when you look at the numbers compared to other counties is when it is just so glaring.
Yeah.
And it's not like Portage County is this, den of iniquity. I mean, we have a nice
And that's
county.
what I was going to ask.
It makes it sound
We
like
have
we
more
have
bad
more
people.
crime and more bad people from everywhere. And that's not the case.
Yeah,
So in that respect, again, that is not my
I understand that, but I just
role.
didn't know.
But on the
Yeah.
other hand, I do express many times, should this case have been
Okay,
indicted? And I bring it up probably every day. So yeah, I'm very vocal, as you all know.
I haven't heard that. And is there anything, I mean, the only thing that I hear is eventually, hey, we've got to, however you guys are going to refigure pays,
Mhm.
is there something that we can do for the courts that, because I keep hearing there's really not an answer for most of these things. And is there anything, so the only thing that I could think here is, hey, we eventually may have to raise a few people's salaries
Right.
or hourly. Is there something that the Board of Commissioners could actually do for the judges?
I don't know. I'd have to think about that. I mean, primarily, we are a kind of a encapsulated entity. We really are, and we should be. That's our
Yeah,
function. But I think with the now having updated job descriptions and I think that will at least give a better perspective on what our folks do. It's not just the cross-training issue, it's the volume that they deal with every day. I mean,
right.
and the same thing with municipal judges. I'm not dismissing them as well, but they also have such a high volume of cases. Their cases are different. They're very short-term. Misdemeanors just don't last as long, quite frankly, because you get in there, you deal with it. Ours, obviously, more serious felonies can take, a couple of years to come to an end. And then when you're adding 900 cases every year on top of that, it really is a major undertaking. On the other hand, both Judge Pittman and I are, experienced and can deal with it. But that doesn't mean our staff should be in a position where they're struggling all the time trying to keep up. So, if magically you could build us a few extra rooms in the courthouse, that would be wonderful.
Slippers at home today.
Yeah, I'm hoping that there is just some space that we haven't yet discovered that exists. But like I said, Jim is probably now going to be at probation, which is not that far away.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that displacing him when he's in our court all the time
He's 30
Doing his
seconds and he's
thing.
there versus.
Yeah, and he does spend a lot of time at juvenile court, helping Judge Smith anyway, but at the end of the day, we literally don't have space. Or
Judge
even-
Smith is looking for a permanent place for him. She's,
I know,
but,
I know. Well, and she has such limited space. I mean, I know you've all been through all this with Judge
Yeah.
Gilletto and Judge Smith trying to, her absorption of that docket. And it's something that, like I said, we need some magical way to give us all space, but right now we don't have it.
Because I agree that you guys are in a capsule that we don't have the
Mhm.
lock and key to. But if there's anything that both you and Judge Pittman can say, hey, we really need this, and kind of come to some kind of agreement so we don't start stepping on everybody's toes,
True.
that how do we actually help you? And
Okay.
I'm glad you guys are working on those job descriptions.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that I think is necessary in any event. Any position. Even if we were in a situation where we needed to post for a job.
Mhm.
I mean, I have, Gina has gotten some of the Summit County job description postings.
Right.
Because they're looking for some employees now, just comparatively to see. But like I said, I've worked in other counties and I know, I know that how they're set up, at least, the few around here. And we do have a little bit different setup, but the reality is, our folks are really working hard to make sure that we keep up with those 900 cases a year. So,
All the people that I've met, including the investigators that work at your office, you got some awesome people.
I do. We do.
So
we both do.
Yep. You both.
Yeah, I mean, everybody on our floor, like I said, we and the employees that Judge Pittman and I share work so well with.
So there are
everyone.
two that you share?
No, we share
Five I have.
Jim.
Oh, four.
Oh, okay.
And
I
yeah.
wasn't thinking of
Yeah,
Jeff.
Yeah.
But the court reporters or
We have
journal.
one of our court reporters. She works for us collectively, but she also does court reporting for both of our
Okay.
magistrates. So yeah, there's a lot of crossover
Mhm.
with those folks.
But the one that retired and the new hire. So there are two new
There are
hires,
two new hires.
One
that are being
replaced.
retired. Correct.
right? And so do those two people get shared amongst you?
Yes. Sort of. Yes.
That's good enough for me.
There's not a good answer for that, but yes.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, it is something that we struggle with, and even with those two, where are we going to put them? That's one of the other issues. Now we have two extra employees that are sitting on top of each other, trying to journalize what we say in court every day, which is a lot, and there's just no space for them. So, but they're working, they're doing it. It doesn't mean
Good
it's
employees.
comfortable. Yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't mean it's comfortable, but they're doing it. So,
I really appreciate your time coming in.
well,
Absolutely.
thank you.
It helps us a lot,
Okay.
at least me, to hear directly from each of you.
Well, I'm glad I'm back in the world.
Yeah.
It's
Good. So
still
we're
sad.
very sorry for loss of your mom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's been struggling, but I'm back.
Okay. All right. Thank
All
you,
right,
Judge.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
You guys have a good day.
You too.
All righty.
Sometimes I gotta zip it because I'm just gonna make a comment for that way.
Mhm.
Anyway, human resources. Janet, is Janet coming in?
Heather is.
Heather is.
Okay.
So we got about
probably-
4 minutes.
Joe, can you go and ask Heather to come in, please?
Is she not on vacation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did she go anywhere, you know?
I think she's
Thank you,
working
Amy.
with Carolina. I think.
Good morning.
Hey, morning, Heather.
Good morning.
Morning. Anything we need to say?
Good
You said
morning.
good All right. So all these are just normal journal entries, correct? In accordance with section 305.30 of the Ohio Revised Code, this board's resolution 21-0396, part 9, the Board of Commissioners acknowledges and approves the county administrator's approval to approve the revisions of operation manager description, Portage County Water Resources. There is no change in pay grade.
Second.
Roll call?
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky.
Yes.
The board moves to accept the resignation of John Kennedy, Treatment Plant Operator 3, Water, Portage County Water Resources, effective July 14th, 2022.
Second.
Roll call?
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky.
Yes.
Board authorized a 7-day internal post of a bargaining position, Water Treatment Plant Operator, replacing John Kennedy for Portage County Water Resources with external posting if no internal appointment is made.
Second.
Roll call?
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky.
Yes.
Board moves to accept the resignation of Christine Hopper, HR Generalist, Payroll Specialist, Portage County Department of Job and Family Services, effective July 29th, 2022.
Second.
Roll call?
Tony.
Yes.
Vicky.
Yes.
Board authorized the internal external posting of the non-bargaining position, HR General Payroll Specialist, vacated by Christine Hopper, Portage County Jobs and Family Services.
Second.
Roll call?
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky.
Yes.
Board moves to accept the resignation of Danielle McGarvey, Social Worker 3, Portage County Department of Job and Family Services, effective July 22nd, 2022.
Second.
Roll call?
Tony.
Yes.
Vicky.
Yes.
Board moves to authorize a three-day internal posting of the non-bargaining position, Social Worker 3, replacing Darlene McGravy, Portage County Job and Family Services, external posting if no internal appointment is made.
Second.
Roll call?
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky.
Yes.
Board moves to accept the resignation of Christina Smith, Social Worker 3, Portage County Department of Job and Family Services, effective July 14th, 2022.
Second.
Roll call?
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky.
Yes.
Board moves to authorize a 3-day internal posting of a bargaining position, Social Worker 3, replacing Christina Smith, Portage County Job and Family Services, with an external posting if no internal appointment is made.
Second.
Roll call?
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky.
Yes.
Board moves to authorize the hire of Brady Day, part-time vehicle operator, new position, Portage County Department of Job and Family Services. Tentative start date is July 25th, 2022. The Board of Commissioners agrees that this hire is contingent upon the applicant passing the required pre-employment screening.
Second.
Roll call?
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky.
Board moves to approve the anniversary probationary step increase for the following non-bargaining employees. Sarah Hogan, Board of Commissioners, Administrative Assistant, effective July 25th, 2022.
Oh, we're gonna do one by one.
One by one, they said.
Second.
Yep. Just roll call? Do you want?
Can you read them all together?
Oh, sure.
This should just be one.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Lisa Harris, Jobs and Family Services, Portage County Social Services, paralegal, effective July 25th, 2022.
Second.
Erica Argy, Jobs and Family Services, MIS Coordinator, effective July 11th, 2022.
Second.
And Sharon Kutzman.
Shannon.
Shannon. Excuse me. Internal Services Deputy Director, effective July 28th, 2022.
Second.
Roll call?
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky.
Yes.
Thank you. You did a great job.
Thanks. I can use that. I can use this.
Morning. How are you? this morning?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Great.
Just have one easy one,
All
our
right.
regular shared cost transfer from child support to public assistance.
Board moves to transfer fund from 1414 Child Support Administration to 1410 Public Assistance Fund.
Second.
Roll call?
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
That roll call word is just adds awful lot to this. Morning, Allison.
Good morning. All right, so I have one resolution today, and it's to formally allocate the money for the EOC.
Board of Commissioners moves directed portion of the Portage County's coronavirus local fiscal recovery fund payment to the county's COVID-19 response, authorized American Rescue Plan Act fund expenditures for EMA 02.
Second.
Roll call?
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky.
Yes.
Thanks, Allison. Good to see you too.
That's quick.
Everybody's gonna get used to
Morning, Joseph. Morning. What you got? I'm waiting for somebody else to talk. Okay. Board of Commissioners moves in accordance with section 305.30K of the Ohio Revised Code. This board's resolution 21-0396 and this board's resolution 21-0878. The Board of Commissioners acknowledges and approves the county administrator approval to Direct the county auditor's office to pay and process July 14th, 2022 bills, ACH payments, wires, journal vouchers, and then and now as applicable contingent upon verification of the reports as presented to the county auditor, reviewed by the Department of Budget and Financial Management. Roll call?
Tony?
Yes.
Vicky?
Yes.
Board moves process July 14th, 2022 budget amendments as reviewed and recommended by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
Second.
Roll call?
Tony?
Yes.
Vicky?
Yes.
Board moves to transfer Fund 0001 General Fund to Fund 4002 Multipurpose CBU ACQ Rehab.
Second.
Roll call?
Tony?
Yes.
Vicky?
Yes.
Board moves to transfer Fund 0001 General Fund to Fund 4018 PC Airport.
Second.
Roll call?
Tony?
Yes.
Vicky?
Yes.
Board moves to transfer Fund 0001 General Fund to Fund 4019 Hills Pond Dam.
Second.
Roll call?
Tony?
Yes.
Vicky?
Yes.
In accordance with Ohio Revised Code 121.22G1, the Board of Commissioners moves into executive session to discuss compensation of a public employee.
Second.
Roll call?
Tony?
Yes.
Vicky?
Yes.
Thank you, guys. We're going to ask everybody to leave. I'm gonna say the words I want to say. Okay, go ahead. Coming out of executive session. We're coming out of executive session. Motion? No. Motion to come out of executive. Roll call?
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
is there action?
No action. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, thank you, Joe. Appreciate it.
Joanne,
So they keep coming up and, okay.
I'm gonna go to miscellaneous.
Yes, ma'am. We only have that one journal entry for miscellaneous.
No, got 1, 2, 3.
Oh, they got it.
Internal services.
Okay.
Oh, his, they're
Yeah,
They're here.
go ahead, please.
Let's do it.
What, Shannon?
Good, how are you? Morning.
How are you?
Good morning.
ladies, this morning?
Good, how are you? all? Good.
It's crazy. There's so
Good.
much going on.
Oh, that's a good thing. So we got clarification of the union contract resolutions.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, when we brought the flow chart back and said that like all resolutions you wanted to have come through me.
Mhm.
The only thing that we didn't talk about, and Michelle brought it up at the time about was, do we want the HR contracts to go through that same process with the resolutions being passed that way? And there was no decision by the board that day. Amy's minutes were consensus and said that you guys didn't decide one way or the other. So I just wanted to
didn't say that
clarify
again.
it. Pardon?
My brain didn't digest what you
Okay.
just said.
So right now, you know, that great big paper I brought up with flow chart
Yep,
on how things flow.
Yep.
We were saying that all contracts should come through the same process with the resolution being done.
Correct.
Okay, so the one question that came back from Janet Kovic was, is she supposed to do that also with union contracts and things like that? And Michelle had asked that question that day, and it just, you guys did make a determination. So I'm asking now, do you want them to all follow the same
My thought
procedure?
is if we're changing it, everybody's going to follow the same procedure.
That would be my
It's all-
recommendation to make it
Yeah,
easy so that everybody
Everybody's doing the
knows.
same thing.
But I want to get clear, I wanted
Yeah.
to give you guys the opportunity to say, yes,
Yeah.
okay.
That's
Does Jen
fine.
disagree with that or something?
So that, no,
No, okay.
so we just needed clarification. And I did ask that day and I thought you were on the same board, but we didn't necessarily take a vote or a journal entry.
Okay.
Yeah, Amy,
We
got
didn't
it.
really
entry today.
discuss.
Yeah.
But what I think this is much better because it'll be far more organized, but
More
that does not mean the department can't come in and talk about it.
Right,
And they
absolutely.
should.
That's right.
Okay.
All right, let's give these to Michelle and Vicki.
Oh, yes.
This
Thank
one is
you.
Tony.
Thank you.
This is Vicki. So you're gonna notice a lot of red today. Oh, my goodness.
Mhm.
That's what I told you. We've been busy, or at least we've been getting some answers to things that seem to be going around and around. So at the courthouse, we had a little issue with the parking lot. They originally submitted their plans on June the 5th and were told, oh, you don't have to have planning commission review. This is good. I can review it and approve it, was Mr. Finney at the city, the building official. So that's where he was moving along, while all of a sudden, I believe that there have been some residents or people in the city, or they didn't quite like the layout that we went with because it gave us more parking.
Mhm.
Because of course, we're looking that we may be expanding people at the courthouse, right?
Eventually, yeah.
So they didn't really like it. So now the mayor would like the planning commission to review and look. So now they can't get it on the schedule till August the 30th for that. And like I said to Shannon, I said, we keep pushing this out. We won't be able to get it done this year if
No.
that keeps dragging. But I wanted to let you guys know what is
Would it be
happening.
beneficial for one of us or to be at that meeting,
Yeah, to
planning?
probably, I forget what time it is, 6 o'clock at night, I think,
Mhm.
maybe that day. I'll look that up and see. But yeah, I mean, if it can happen,
Yeah,
I think, it's a parking.
but they have that streetscape or whatever they're doing. And, a lot of people wanted that to be part of that and their version of what they wanted versus reality of what we need.
Right,
And it's
is-
not practical. I
No.
mean, that's the thing. It's beautiful, but
absolutely. Well, and the thing about it is it's upkeep then and maintenance for us. But there were trees planted. It's just not what they had originally envisioned. So, all right, I will make sure that I get the info to you guys on that.
That's a Tuesday evening, you're saying? I'll go to that.
You will? Okay.
Yep. Just gonna remind me.
Don't remember nice words.
Did you want me to?
I do pretty well.
Want me to do as well?
Mom, the chef wrote me.
Common Pleas courtroom chairs, replacements. So it came to a total of 26,401.90. That was Judge Pittman's court. That's replacing all of the jury chairs, all of the chairs at the attorneys' tables and behind the attorneys. And I asked them, because they weren't moving forward with it, are you still needing these? Do you still want these? Well, yes, and it hooks into the carpeting that they want replaced for the courtroom. So we have to do, obviously, the court carpeting first before we can put those other things in.
Right.
So we're going to want to get that funding going, but we are waiting for our carpenter to go up there and measure
They told us yesterday we could go up in the afternoon.
in the afternoon.
So I gotta try to get him now.
We're limited as to when we can
Time
get in there to
frame,
do that, but that'll be a project then we would want to do together. Probate court. So that was a request that came in about moving the clerks of the probate across the street into the Riddle Block.
For like a month or 2 months. Or
Well,
something.
if we could do it for 2 months, they feel that the renovations that they want to do to those outside windows would take that month, if they can move them totally out. If they can't, then it extends it to 5 months construction kind of period.
Do they move themselves out?
I know, I'm sure we will have to move them, maintenance will have to move them over.
Just depends on which stuff.
And yet, and then the same thing is that I think we need to go there with Heather or the judge and or both of them so that they can see, because I'm not sure if there's going to be needs for IT to do some stuff over there. You know, it's not, I don't think it's simple as let's just move this over and we can take operation.
Never is, Joanne.
Well, no, and if they, if they interact with public, how is that going to happen? Because what we have open over there is the great big room that Job and Family Services used to be in.
Has
So
Judge Smith seen that room?
that's what I don't believe so. And that's why when I emailed her back, I said, I can make arrangements for you guys to look at that, because it may not.
Because she thought it was gonna be very simple
Exactly.
activity.
Yeah, and I don't know, to be sure. Like I said, it's more than probably just moving their desks. But, so we want to check into it a little bit more before and make sure that they're okay before we start the wheels of moving people.
Can I ask something real quick? So, because it's not a first floor, right?
Correct.
So it's going to be third or fourth floor, is that right?
It would be the fourth floor is where we
fourth
have
floor.
all of the rooms.
Heavy desk.
And will the elevator hold that
Correct.
weight? We need to know that.
To move all that.
Way big enough to put a desk in.
Right.
All these
Just a
good
bit.
things need to be looked at. And because I can say from a workers' comp standpoint, my preference would be that our maintenance does not move desks, right? That isn't what they do every day. They're not movers. So I think if we go this
Hire it
route,
out.
it would be better to hire that out.
They say.
Well, and especially if we want to try to get it done in one fell swoop, because our guys are spread, they're
We already have a
spread thin
skeleton
enough.
crew.
Yeah.
So I think that we put a lot on that. And we also need to ensure that elevator will hold.
Right, because if not, they're trudging up four.
Well, that's right.
Oh,
And
but that's
they're
no-
narrow.
No, that's not.
They're very narrow and I don't know that it would work.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, so it's more than just a simple thing.
You can reach out to Judge Smith.
Yep,
Okay.
they need to see. because I
Yeah, give
don't know
her
that
the
they really
reality
know there.
of that.
So that brings us then to about the Jim Walsh relocation she brought up. Thinking that there's room over at the Riddle Block to move him. Well, it's probably different to just move one person than that. We do, however, have the suite that was rented by Mark Heisa, that's street level, that if they really want to move him, maybe that would be,
How big a suite is that?
two rooms.
It's got, when you walk in, there's like a reception area to the
Mhm.
right and a little more reception area to the left. And then
I think there's 2 full offices and a bathroom.
So it's good size.
Yeah.
Like 700 or 800 square feet.
Yeah. And that, but then she turned around and said, well, maybe I can find room in the mediation areas at the courthouse, which would be far better to keep him, because I think
They want to keep him in the court.
they do want to keep him in the courthouse. And there's,
understand.
you know, so I'm gonna work with her on pushing that one versus trying to go across the street for the ease of what he does and who he works with.
Right.
All right, so that moves us down to Riddle. We got the historical review committee approval on the HVAC and the roof replacement for the Riddle block. So we're now.
So we had to do, if I clarify, up on top of the roof, we had to have the Historical Society approve replacing air conditioners.
We had,
Just I-
because it sits in the historical district, they have to give their approval on everything there.
Okay.
We got it, so now we're able to get the bids out, which we hope will be the first week of August. And that may be able to be done this year. That would be wonderful. Let's see, we're going down now to the prosecutor's windows. We got the construction estimate of 300,000, and I'm waiting now from them to tell me when they think that they would have all of the documents ready to go out to bid on that. Then you guys received a letter requesting his telephone be replaced. They went out and got a quote and everything and sent that all in a letter to you guys. So the cost is $872.69 for a 36-month lease. Now, I reached out because, of course, the letter didn't say, we want you to buy this, commissioners. We want you to fund it. But I reached out and I said, so you have the money for this, right? Oh, no, we want the board to fund it.
Oh.
So it's not only, the letter is not only do you give me approval to go ahead and replace ours, but you also, we want you to give me the money in my budget so I can.
Did I miss something? Did we get the letter? Have you
So
seen the letter?
the letter came in,
June,
it was recent.
Letter to the board 5 or 7.
7/5, yeah.
7/5. It went directly to the board.
And so
Maybe it's, I don't know where it's at.
we talked about doing the whole county so that we would all be on the same platform. And we just, I got the qualification statements from 2 companies that would like to do the work in going around and making sure that every department has and gets what they need. But Vic doesn't want to have to wait because he feels like his equipment is going to fail at any time. He wants to have his own and go forward.
He wants that Cisco, right? That's not
Yeah.
what we're looking at, or,
We don't know.
okay.
Because while I know that Cisco phones are premier, that doesn't mean that that's not what the consultant that we're getting is going to say. Yeah, you know what? They'll be the most versatile. We want these to be able to be managed by every department. If you want to have it ring certain ways and so forth, we want everybody to be able to do their own. We don't want to have to rely on someone to come out and do that for us all the time. So I believe that it would be great if we could all be on the same platform, obviously.
Yeah.
But it all depends on what you guys want to do with VIX. And then we're going to, obviously, Cisco would be one of the ones that I think that we should look at when we're trying to replace everything here.
Did we used to have Cisco years ago and then we changed and he didn't change because he liked that?
No, he's always been on his own platform.
Okay.
And he started with, when he did his first upgrade, he went to the Cisco phones because he liked them. And that's the only operation in the county that I know ever had any.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just wanted, so if you,
The discussion in the past, up until that letter, was we were going to do this countywide.
yeah, and I know that they get the minutes or listen to the
Right,
minutes or
right.
listen to the meetings. So they probably heard that that's what we were thinking about doing so that they could kind of, I think they want to make sure they get what they want
Right.
versus waiting for the whole county. But I too would like to see, and if that would be great if we could get Cisco phones here.
And so I would say wait and do the county. So we're not, we're trying to, so it's not piecemeal.
Yeah.
And so I think that would be wise to wait and get a whole thing. And if everybody goes to Cisco phones and if we need to upgrade it, may possibly do that, but have an idea what the whole county needs.
And what's the timeline for that we know now, Joanne,
The
that
consultant.
we'll have an answer?
I asked Lloyd to sit in on this because his department will be integral in doing phone operations. His department right now is the one that, does the work on Vic's phone system, you know, with installs of maintenance software, things like that. So I asked Lloyd, I want him to review. We're going to sit down this coming week, and pick a time to have both of those phone companies come in and just say, hey,
Okay.
you know, we want to know what's the layout. What do you think? He's
So
got
we're
some.
not talking months and months. I mean,
No, I wouldn't think so. I mean, one of the things that I want to look at is, I want to look at the state contracts because lo and behold, Cisco could be a state contract right now and we don't have to go out to bid for anything.
oh,
We would just be able to procure those.
okay.
Now, I believe though, when we talk about the implementation, it's going to take some time because I think that I'm just going on what we did.
Past,
Yeah. We kind of did every department, each, you know, or a building at a time.
Right,
Michelle is very familiar with that because that was her project.
okay.
It is
So-
quite a project.
Yeah, it is. So I'm thinking, but it all depends on who we end up buying them from and how big they are that they can deploy and try to do everything. But I'm gonna say it's gonna be phased in.
Okay.
I don't see, you know, and
Oh, I know
like I
it wouldn't
said,
all happen at once.
and like I said, he could be first.
Yeah.
What do I care who goes
Yeah.
first, you know,
Right.
so.
Who's
But,
on
all right.
Ideally, everyone is on the same system, and Cisco is a much better system comparatively speaking.
Yeah.
And
So
that's
he
what
is
we
right
talked
about that,
about.
quite honestly, and he did try to participate with us a few years back. But Cisco is just way superior to the system that we have. Just to be full disclosure on that.
Yeah.
He did try to work with us a few years ago, and he's like, yeah, no, I'm not going backwards, right?
Right, exactly.
So if
We've been maintaining what he's had, so. And I
that's
can
right.
see why
And
he
it's
wants.
time. It is time.
It is.
Well, he's concerned because I believe it's life's end, right? And they cannot get pieces
Right.
parts any longer. So
It's hard to get parts and they can't put any of the new software on because it's antiquated, obviously, so.
yeah, he no doubt he needs an upgrade. However, it's way convenient to be able to just dial,
Yeah.
3850 as opposed to having to dial the entire digits.
That's what I was looking at, was trying to get.
Looking
And we have interest from Portage County PD to be on, some of our outlying areas, and that would be great to be able to just dial that.
Oh, yeah.
How long before you know whether or not Cisco is on the state bid?
I can check that pretty soon. I mean, I can go back downstairs and
Yeah,
check that.
check
That would be
Let us
ideal,
know.
I think. And then
Yeah.
we could have him rest assured. We totally hear you. We want to work with you.
Yeah.
And in fact, we can move forward in this direction or another, or it's going to be a while, right?
Yeah. And I can report that back to you guys in case you want to.
Okay.
All right.
That sounds good.
Okay. At the EOC Center, okay, so last week when the question came up,
Mhm.
I
I just
reached
read
out,
that, yep.
I reached out to the architects. So at this juncture, there's a 2-hour fire resistance between the old and the new, if you will.
Mhm.
I know that if we want to replace the old, let's say, roof,
Mhm.
wooden shingles or whatever they are with metal,
Mhm.
that will prolong it a little bit, but I don't know, how much longer.
Okay.
Once it catches fire, I mean, I don't know, in
Right.
2 hours, what can we save or what can we not on the old side? If you want,
I don't want anything else.
you don't want anything else,
No,
you're good with this?
I'm
Okay.
good with that explanation.
Okay, so in the parking lot at the Ravenna Courthouse, we are now have to go to the planning commission on that. This is an, oh yeah, I'm
August
sorry,
30th.
it's on the
Okay.
back side now. We did that one already, sorry.
Yep, that's right.
The Justice Center roof. And the record center roof are both on to have the bid specs ready the first week of August as well, so that we can do the replacement. Hopefully, those projects will get done before the end of the year. Juvenile court, part of the project may be paid by ARPA funds. I'm waiting to make sure eventually, how much of it can. And I think Allison's getting something maybe today or tomorrow. I think I saw something go through. So once that's done, we're ready to move forward with those bids and getting those bids out. Portage County Airport.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
So you're waiting on putting out the bids relative to finding out how it's going to be funded, or did I mishear that? Or are we able to move forward with the bids regardless of how we fund it?
Well, exactly. We're going, if ARPA can't, we're going to do it, out of our regular project fund. I would assume there's money there for that.
Okay.
I saw Joe put, I think, $4 or $5 million is on your something today for those to be taken care of. So there would be more than enough to take care of that at the time. But I figured that you would want to use ARPA funds if ARPA funds are available.
I just want to have my note correct that you are going to move forward with bidding.
Yep.
No.
Getting them to get the final specs and everything done. On the airport, so I sent the agreement to the auditor's office to be signed, and they did not sign it and send it back. They would like to have the whole amount encumbered at the same time, not just what I felt we were going to be able to do this year, split it between 2 years. And then they question as to why we wanted to take it out of the general fund airport and not just out of the new fund that was created. And I said, well, I think it was trying to get it going through. But what I'm going to ask you guys, if you'll just stop down before you leave the building today and sign the agreement, then I can get it to the architects to start.
Cool.
And then I'll work with the auditor to get the paperwork straight on their end, because we don't want to hold it up any longer. And I talked to the airport folks and they're ready. They said any time. They're working on the East Coast right now, but they said they'll pull back and pick up on our job right away. So.
Excellent. Okay, I'm good.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, we have some resolutions.
You had WIC on there too.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that one's just that I went back to Joe Diorio and I gave him the information that you guys said about the lease purchase, and he's talking with his board.
Okay. All right, Board of Commissioners moves to authorize Portage County engineers to execute the local public agency LPA agreement number 37923, PID number 117491 with the Director of Ohio Department of Transportation for the project known as the replacement of Stanley Road RC 235 structure over Mahoney Creek in Wyndham Township, Portage County, Ohio.
Second.
Roll call.
Tony?
Yes.
Yes.
Board of Commissioners moves to accept the proposal for the Engineering Associates, Inc. to enter into an agreement, provide professional services for the project known as Jones Road Bridge Replacement.
Second.
Roll call.
Tony?
Yes.
Yes.
Board of Commissioners moves to agree to enter into an agreement for the Child and Adult Emergency Reporting Services, CARES, with the Job and Family Services, Coleman Professional Services, Inc.
Second.
Roll call.
Tony?
Yes.
Yes.
Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into an agreement for the Parenting and Domestic Violence Services through REACH program, Recovery, Empowerment, and Action Created Hope, REACH, with the Job and Family Services, Family Community Services, Inc.
Second.
Roll call.
Tony?
Yes.
Yes.
Board of Commissioners moves to accept the bid and award the contract for project number N1 22-020 Western Reserve WWTP Sludge Tank, Portage County Regional Sewer District, Portage County, Ohio.
Second.
Roll call.
Tony?
Yes.
Yes.
Board of Commissioners declares obsolete and authorizes the sale of vehicles by public auction.
Second.
Roll call.
Tony?
Yes.
Yes.
Board of Commissioners move to agree to set and request proposal date for the Comprehensive Case Management and Employment Program, CCMEP, Portage County Job and Family Services Department.
Second.
Roll call.
Tony?
Yes.
Yes.
Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into an amendment number 3 in the Jeremiah Great House Services.
Second.
Roll call?
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky.
Yes.
Good.
Thanks, Joanne.
Anything
Shannon.
else?
Thank you.
Thanks.
No, there, I did have a question. Oh, in the vehicles, if we have these vehicles that go up for auction, if there was a department or something that would have a vehicle that they wanted to use, that like one of these vehicles, that actually ran, would we be able to do something like that?
Yeah, we do it if I know that there's a department out there that's looking for something, if we've got something that I think would bring money, actually, and
Okay.
they're not ready to call apart, I'd reach out and say, hey, we can transfer within our own, departments
Okay,
on the, yeah,
thank you.
you bet.
Thank you, ladies.
You sing, you sing. You sing.
Major Lambert,
Good
good morning, sir. I'm great, thank you. How about you?
Oh, go ahead. I know.
I'm doing great.
I'm just gonna wait up this while he talks.
You're up, sir.
I'm up. I just want permission from the commissioners to move monies from our phone account to vehicle account so that we can purchase 4 unmarked light EV cars. We're looking at, we have 2 that are shot.
Mhm.
They're old, they're shot. We've got 2 that are high mileage that are starting to cost us a lot of money.
Mhm.
When we started this project some time ago, the total amount for equipment, radio equipment and all that stuff come out to $153,276. But since it doesn't seem that we can do anything in 2021 or 22, then now we're up to 155,498.40.
And you're saying not doing because of cars, you can't get cars?
We can't get cars. I mean, we've been waiting since October of last year for cars and we're still waiting.
Okay.
And so and looking in the future, we're looking now, even if we order them now, we're 6, 7, 8, 9 months down the road to even get them.
Will it be easier to get vehicles like this versus the sheriff cars?
No,
Okay.
no, it really isn't. When I talked to a couple of local dealers and they were going to reach out and look and see if they could find something. And the answer came back, no.
Okay.
We can give you something, but you're not going to fit all your gear and equipment in it. So it's
How many vehicles this?
Was 4.
Okay. And you said you want to utilize,
We're gonna use
phone.
phone money.
So tell me how much you have and how we got that. About how much do we have in the phone services and is that?
That's going to cover the cost, and there's still additional money funding there.
Under,
And in looking, and prorating the rest of the year, that account's fine.
was that money because you have that account because of the error that was found a year and a half ago? And
Probably had a lot to
it
do.
was already put in the budget for phones and it
Right.
turns out that we don't, okay.
All those services.
Circuits, yeah.
All the circuits that were canceled.
So we've saved a considerable amount of money.
Yes.
Yeah, right. You have a resolution for that or
I do not have a resolution for that.
Becky?
We would,
So we have our discussion today and then Joanne brings back the resolution next week.
you'll give me all the information on the VIN numbers and everything of what he's buying.
We don't have those.
I really don't want that in a resolution, and
We
we
wanna-
ran into that once before because
Just move
then
the
it
money
becomes an issue where
if you don't get the.
it's all public record and every Tom, Dick, and Harry in the 5-county area knows what we're driving. And the idea of unmarked cars is.
Yeah. So right now we want to put on,
We can work it out.
yeah, okay.
Using the
Yeah.
language on our cars.
Okay.
Yeah. no
Okay, great.
problem.
The
So
resolution is just to move money. Is that what we're doing?
We have to commit money, right? Is that we want to commit the money, that 155,000 out of that telephone.
Actually, right, I don't want to speak.
No,
out
go
of
ahead,
turn,
please.
but There'll be a resolution that will go through Joe, transferring money from your
Okay, right,
telephone line to the line to
Vehicles.
buy the vehicles.
right.
what would we,
Yes.
how do we know how much we're transferring if you don't have,
We have a quote, yeah,
He's got a quote.
we've got a quote for 155, 498.40.
Okay, so you're just waiting for the resolution to go
We're
through
just
to
waiting
make
for the
that purchase?
resolution to make that purchase, yes.
Do you have to purchase them and wait for them? So they want total commitment before they have cars.
Could we do that resolution today?
We don't
You're
have
not
a written
ready.
resolution, but if you would like us to come back, generally speaking, it was the discussion and resolution would follow
Okay, right.
via Joanne, but do you want something?
Well, I'm
Is there
thinking
that
time
detrimental
is
time
critical here.
for next week? I mean, is next week pushing it too much or
We've been waiting 9 months for cars now, so I don't.
another week
think-
doesn't matter?
I don't think another week.
Another week's gonna
Sure,
matter.
I mean, we could,
That sounds good.
I don't know.
we could bring something back up later if that's.
Can you?
what we'd like.
I mean, that too much?
Yeah, I can work with that.
Okay,
Okay, yeah, if you go do
So
that.
it'll be done.
okay.
Right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's all-
Anything else?
No, that's all I got.
Okay.
That's all I
I
got.
thought there was actually gonna be more.
Thanks,
That's all I got.
Thank you, Larry. Thanks for coming in.
So you gave us all you got.
Yeah, you got all I got.
Okay.
Very helpful.
Thank you, sir.
Can you send Joe a copy of that quote as well?
Sure.
Better just make a copy of it now.
I'll move my own. So one more thing. Okay. Okay.
I just want to be able to follow the steps.
County Administrator, would you like us to do miscellaneous or would you like to,
So I am good. I do not have an update, so please move forward.
miscellaneous? Mickey, you ready? Board of Commissioners acknowledges the receipt of the July 15th, 2022 certificate of the county auditor that the total appropriations from each fund do not exceed the official certificate of estimate resources for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2022, as presented by the Portage County Auditor's Office.
Second,
Roll call?
I think it does exceed. This-
It does, I'm sorry, it does exceed. Thank you.
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky? Yes.
In accordance with Ohio Revised Code, Section 325.07, the Board of Commissioners acknowledges the receipt of the monthly records and proceedings and transaction for June 2022 as presented by the Portage County Sheriff's Department.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony?
Yes.
Vicky? Yes.
Board of Commissioners acknowledges the receipt of the July 15, 2022 notice from Faith Hill and Teresa Nielsen, Portage County Board
So
of
Faith
Elections.
Lyon in.
Faith Lyon.
Nelson here,
Where-
just a quick
Okay.
fix on it.
Board of Elections indicating the Board of Elections will be open to the public after regular office hours for the post-election cure period for the absentee and provisional ballots as follows. Wednesday, August 3rd from 4:30 to 5. Thursday, August 4th, 4:30 to 5. Friday, August 5th, 4:30 to 5. Saturday, August 6th, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Sunday, August 7th, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Monday, August 8th, 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday, August 9th, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony?
Yes.
Vicky? Yes.
Board of Commissioners moves to acknowledge the receipt of Portage County Investment Portfolio Report for June 2022 as presented by the Portage County Treasurer.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony?
Yes.
Vicky? Yes.
And the Board of Commissioners moves to acknowledge the receipt of June 27, 2022 correspondence received July 18, 2022, which included the Streetsboro and Shalersville Township Joint Economic Development District, JED, agreement for the formal petition requesting the board's action to approve said petition within 30 days from June 27, 2022, as presented by the Mayor Glenn Broska and of the city of Streetsboro and the chairman, John Klein, Shalersville Township, referred to the prosecutor's office for review.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony?
Yes.
Vicky? Yes.
Resolution, board moves to proceed with replacing renewal levy for 4/10 for the Mills and Benefit Portage County Combined General Health District for necessity expenses of that district.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony?
Yes.
Vicky? Yes.
Is there any public comment so far? No. It will recess until, oh, pardon?
Were you a country music fan, Big Bill?
Yes, yes. Never mind. We'll move to adjourn until 11 o'clock. Okay.
What was the total purchase price of those 4 cars?
$155,498
155, 498.
in a couple cents.
Yeah.
And those are new cars?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And so since they're using the phone bill money to pay for the cars, are the body cams then going to be funded out of the general fund?
We haven't totally decided that yet.
Okay.
Yep,
All right.
because the body cams are, that whole thing hasn't finished up yet.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
cameras, and next thing you know, it's like, oh.
Oh, there is public comment?
No,
No.
but there's a resolution.
Oh, that's right. To move the money? Is that what,
Well, it's declared a necessity.
okay.
Thank you.
We're just going to this, that sentence, the bottom? That's
Right
all.
here.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
Yeah, so Debbie.
Okay. Board will reconvene. We on? Okay, there's any public comment? No public comment? And make a motion, we have one resolution to read. The Board of Commissioners declares the necessity to purchase 4 vehicles for the use of Portage County Sheriff's.
Second?
Roll call?
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky?
Yes.
A motion to adjourn?
Second?
Roll call?
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky?
Yes.
Have a wonderful day.
Easy peasy.
Man, you guys did good.